How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. A few divvy moments this morning, but yes, I'm here.
A little bit of techies, eh?
Just a divvy moment, not
Oh,
a techie.
divvy moment. I agree with it on that one. So, what have we got? We had a late night last night at the awards, didn't we?
When do we not? But good morning to Mr. Wolf Michael on my Mixcloud. And I haven't been onto Sharky's stream yet, but I could hear that Spice Nice has been to the Maldives, and I don't really want to know. Uh, I don't want to know at all exactly how it was. Do you know something? Mixcloud has changed round, and what used to be featured on top, you could just select the recommended. We are no longer in the recommended stream. I
Yeah.
don't understand that. So need to talk to Mixcloud why we're not in recommended and why we have to scroll down in the list. But Spice Nice, G-Force, Melly Mel, Laurie, good morning, Kelsa P. Gosh, all these early morning mixed clouders. But yes, I'm highly jealous he went to the Maldives. I could imagine it was absolutely lovely. It's one of the places on my bucket list. So yeah, highly jealous. Don't want to know that you had a great time. I hope it rained. There's a couple of monsoons going on.
It's so wicked.
Yeah, there was turbulence on the plane going there and back,
Ah,
Don't want to
gosh.
know you've had a good time. Whilst we've been in cold England, it snowed as well. Spice Nice. You missed the snow and the wind and rain. We haven't had really good weather at all, so don't want to know. But yes, we had a late one last night because we was at the Rex Radio Awards. First time that we attended, and yes, we were up for best presenter, best DJ, best newcomer, all sorts, and so unfortunate we didn't get to win, but Countryman won the award for best DJ. Jazzy P won it for best newcomer. So there were some awards that went out to some fantastic people. So I can only smile and be happy for my fellow GY Radio colleagues that they won.
Mm. Yes, well done indeed. Well done indeed.
Yeah, really pleased with Jazzy P. She was sitting there, she didn't even realise she was nominated in the category, and her face was like,
It was such a lovely sight to see. She was like, oh, oh, oh,
she
oh,
was just
oh.
not expecting it
I think we had to
whatsoever.
say, God, they called you, you've won. She's like, oh.
Yeah, you got to get up.
It was so nice. I think she was in shock even when we left. She was still in shock.
Oh, she was, but she's got a lovely award. I put it up on Facebook last
Yeah.
night, so congrats to her. So yeah, we had a bit of a journey back to the West Midlands, but we're here alive and kicking, to say the least. Now, I want to just start off with a quick review of shows, and it was recommended to watch Code Call, which is on Netflix, I think it is, where this woman gets scammed of £83,000, a lot of money. You saw how easy it was that she got actually wound in.
Hmm.
And needless to say, I wasn't too impressed with the show. I've stopped watching it. I'm on episode 2 and I'm a bit confused about the whole premise of the show. So I'm not going to give anything away, but it's not on my recommendation list, people. Don't care who's watched it. It's gone a little bit stupid. What started as a great storyline has now turned into something foolish. So
I like that one. It's not on my recommendation
it's not on my
list.
recommendation list. I'm sorry, everybody. It's like if I had a favourite book list, that wouldn't be on it whatsoever. I was a
Yeah.
bit disappointed. It started off really well, but what the show does show you is how it is easy to get scammed on the phone when they're reeling you in and you're distracted and you're not really paying attention. And I can't say this enough, people, is that scamming is on the rise. Everybody wants to make money. They are in these big call centers. They are designed to find the most vulnerable people and hook into that and reel you in. And if you are not sharp enough, if you are not, I don't know, careful or protective about your details, you could find that you'll be losing money in your bank account. So if you do get a phone call and someone is saying they are from your bank, there's been some fraudulent activity going on, you're going to have to give me all your details. Do not do it. Put down the phone and call your bank directly. Never take a phone call from your bank. Never take a phone call from HMRC. Never take a phone call from any credit or store card holders. In fact, do not take any phone calls from anybody that's saying that they know that there's some kind of activity going on in your account and then you have to verify by giving all your details. No. I've had arguments with my bank before where I'm just like, they've rang me up. I think it was my mortgage company rang me up. I was like, we need to verify you. And I'm like, well, who are you? First of all, don't ask about verifying me. I don't know who you are. So we went through this cat and mouse game where I wasn't giving up my details, and they said, look, Miss Thomas, if you really want to verify, you could just call us back on the number. They went, call us back on this number. I went, no, I'm going to use the number on the back of my card. So yeah, your best bet is to be vigilant, be careful, and just say no. If you don't trust that they say who they are, do not give the details.
No.
Just don't. There's no issue. If someone's telling you, or if you don't do this now, they're going to get into your account. Tough.
Yeah,
Because the bank should be able to stop it before they ring you and start asking for your account details to do it. They've got your account details. If a bank's calling you for account details, it's fraudulent. Why would they
Definitely.
ring you for account details and they know your bank account details?
There you go.
Just
You've been
remember
told.
that. If anything you remember, just remember that. I can't say it enough. I don't want to see any of my Mixclouders scammed. Just be vigilant. Don't give out your details and question everything. Absolutely everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So good morning going out to Miss Sugar Sweet. So Laurie has a big post there about scammers, HPQ.
Ah, did she? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. My Mixcloud just plays up anytime it moves away from the screen. It just leaves it, and I have to go back and find it again. Like
Yeah.
now, here it is. Way down the list, I don't understand. Anyway, let's have a look at Laurie. Laurie says, HPQ, another thing the scammers call saying you called them. Then they ask certain questions for you to respond to, so they have your voice to commit fraud. Don't respond yes or no, just hang up. Even the voice activated ones I don't respond to. I just don't respond to calls or text messages. In fact, I had ordered a parcel. I can't remember who it was from. Pretty Little Thing, I think it was. And I didn't put in my correct address. I changed it on the autofill, so the address didn't come up properly. And I got this text message to say that I think it was DPD or Avery it was trying to deliver, and that I should enter my address on this website address. They'd put in a link, and I thought, what are they doing putting a link in a text message? I'm not doing any of this. This is rubbish. This is fraud. And it was them doing that because the address was completely incorrect. But by the time I kind of contacted Avery and they sent the link on the email, it didn't work. So in the end, I had to get all kinds of wranglings to get it back. But yeah, anytime I see something suspicious or not looking like it's from a reputable company, it for me, absolutely no way. In fact, I got caught out on work the other day. They did a phishing exercise, spelled PH, whereby to see how vigilant you are against emails that are coming in asking for information. And of course, because it said, it didn't even say internal in the line, it said external. All these indicators I missed, clicked on it because it said the company requires you to change your password. And no, it wasn't. So they put you into immediate training, and I'm like, okay, I'm geared up for this now. Forgot about the company. It's just my own stuff that I probably forget. But yes, that's some really good advice there. For anybody calling on the phone that calls you, WhatsApp as well. Don't go and get those job things. I think has fallen by the wayside. I think that people have had enough of those scams whereby you could try and earn money by doing reviews or responding to something. There was scamming people there. There's the what you call it now? The coin, the Bitcoin scams, all sorts of scams going on. So all I can say is keep a hold of your details. Don't let it go just to everybody. Be very protective about your details.
Yeah,
It's too easy to be scammed.
especially with the Bitcoin. I think most people have caught on to that now, but a number of people have been done by the Bitcoin. One of my friends,
Hyperverse. Remember
yeah,
Hyperverse?
yeah, people, and how they do it is they actually give you money and let you pull the money out. So obviously now you've got their trust. And a lot of people say yes, it's real, and they introduce, and then they get it. And what they do is get people to put money in, and then you put it in, and obviously they build up this pot. They give some out, then you tell more and more people. It's a kind of that pyramid thing, And people say it's not a pyramid. Oh yes, you're definitely making money. You don't need to bring. Just introduce your friends, and people were remortgaging their houses because they saw this quick
Oh, it was
money.
it was
Some
awful
people had
actually.
lost some money. I mean, I'd been scammed by one of these job things, and it was genuine. They gave me the money, and I actually thought to
It
myself,
wasn't genuine.
yeah, I said I thought it was genuine, but
Oh,
it wasn't. And how they caught me is because I was actually looking for something to do online as well, and got wangled up into this thing, a big time scam, and I lost quite a few thousand. But I had a friend I was talking about a scam last week, and they told me they'd lost a significant amount of money and wouldn't reveal to me the amount. I told the amount that I'd lost, but she would not tell me how much she lost, which I suspect, you
it's a
know,
lot of money.
it was a
Yeah,
hell of a lot of money. Hell of a
yeah.
lot of money.
I mean, when that
So,
woman lost 83,000,
mm,
that's a lot, and so I'm going to assume it's along those lines. Sorry, Sharky.
yeah. And, I mean, there was, I think in the news somewhere I read, someone had actually lost 500,000.
Their pension.
Um, well, they were investing the
Mm.
money, and they'd lost about 500,000. So the thing about it is, whereas you might think, say, you've got an investment and it's there working, yeah, it's a scam. So you got to be very, very, very careful with these people.
Yeah, and also the
Go.
investment scams. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
afterwards because there's a lot of
Mm.
those going around. And yeah, I'll talk about two things I've been through: pensions, St James's Wealth, and Hargreaves London. Come back to that.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't want to say anything there.
You can, of course.
Oh my gosh. Right. I was talking about scamming and everything. Lots and lots of scams. I mean, we've got lots of companies in the news for commission charges, all these hidden charges that they keep on doing. Uh, well, not one such company, but the car company, the motor company are in the news at the moment for those that have taken out lease or hired, not hired cars, lease cars or bought their cars through dealerships.
Higher purchase, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, higher
have
purchase.
have found out that there've been all these hidden charges, and it's going through the courts at the moment. The FCA is battling with some of these companies to see how are they going to address the issues here and to pay back people's commission. Now it was set for September this year, that passed, then October, then December. It's now been pushed back to next year. I think it is May. So let's see what happens when the verdict is drawn. So for those of you that bought or took out lease or a hire purchase car before 2021, please ensure you get your template ready. In fact, you can
Mm.
send it off to the car companies that you got these deals from now. So it's in place and ready. And then when the decision comes through, if they do have to pay back all these millions of pounds, then you're already in line in the queue, ready to get your payout. Okay, just like PPI, were next.
Yeah.
Now, another company that were in the news was St James's Wealth. They were pension and investment providers who I do my pension through, a significant amount of my pension. They've been in the news in terms of their stocks and trades and their investments not being at the market levels, and so people are losing money or losing value. And then also there was a commission scandal whereby they were taking commissions off the fees every year. So I'd have a meeting with my pension advisor, and I'd be charged. Didn't even know I was being charged for advice, or even charged for advice I never even got. So
Mm.
I had to take them to task and got a bit of money back from them also. So it's worth it, people, in terms of if there's any, I love this word, unscrupulous retailers out there, that you go. grab them by the goat's balls, and
You and the goat's balls, you know.
go get your money back. I had that the other day. I bought a suitcase. Remember this cheap suitcase? Don't buy cheap suitcases. Like watches, do not buy a cheap suitcase. All right. I had to take it back. And me and this woman's arguing. She doesn't know I know all about consumer law. Just the wrong person to be arguing with. She phones up her manager, has a conversation in a different language, and I'm standing there going, I don't care what you're saying. You're giving me back my money today, and all kinds of no, you can't have a refund through the consumer law. And said, look, the suitcase is staying here. You can either refund me now, or I get my bank to call your bank and get my money back. Which one do you want? But either way, it's faulty. I don't want another one. I don't want another one. I want my money back. And I walked away my money back, and they had the suitcase. So,
And the
cool
thing about
weekend
it
for
is
me.
with some of these shops is that, you know, they'll send you 40 goods, and once you depart with your money, they don't want to give it back. You know, if they send you 40 good, you have the right, especially if it's within, you know, 28 days or just outside. And if it's 40, it's 40. It's as simple as that.
See,
You don't want it, you bought it, it doesn't serve the purpose. You don't want another one because you don't want the same problem again. So take it back.
so just to make you understand sale of goods, if you want to return an item because you simply don't like it, don't want it, or it doesn't fit, you do have 28 days to do so without them asking any questions. All right. So long as you've got your receipt, you can return the item. That's no problem. If the item is faulty, you've got more than 28 days. You are then covered by this consumer law, and your goods are automatically has a warranty of 1 year. And I don't think everyone knows that. Whenever you buy something, you have an automatic warranty of 1 year on your goods. So if it goes faulty within a year, you can legally send it back to a company and ask for your money back or for an exchange or replacement of your item. But if they don't exchange it, you can ask for your money back because it is faulty.
So, question, you know, when you go to buy something and they have no returns,
They
are you
are
still
allowed to do
covered?
that. They are allowed to say that if they can't do a return, they have to do something.
Like they
Uh,
normally would say that you could,
you can
take a
exchange.
credit note or something like that.
Correct. That's
So that's
absolutely legal
that's fine.
to do
That's
so.
legal, yeah.
But
Okay.
what they can't do is if the item is faulty, they cannot offer you an exchange or a credit note back for the item. If it's faulty, you are legally allowed to get your money back. So don't be fooled with, the skirt lining has now come apart and they're like, well, we can only give you a credit note. Rubbish. They have to give you your money back. Or you can take them to citizens advice or consumer law if you really, really want to. Or what you do, and this is the good thing about being in a cashless society, because with cash, it doesn't amount to much. The banks won't give you kind of any backing if you've paid for in cash. But once you've paid for an item by card, you are covered by your card holders, at 100% covered. So if you've bought an item and they're saying, and it's faulty, and they're saying we'll only give you a credit note, just go to your banks. This item's faulty. They're not giving me back my money, and they'll go to the retailers and get the money back for you.
So
And
there
then you
is a
can just dash
benefit
that item in the bin. There
in
is a
the
benefit.
cashless society.
There is a benefit.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, communication, Earth to Mars. Are you there, HPQ?
Hello, darling. How's the weather? I love that song. And you know what I really liked is that Kid Creole and the Coconut song. You know, my mum was obsessed with him. She used to fancy the pants off of
I
Kids
think a
Creole.
lot of women did. We used to
Oh,
have a guy at my
those
workplace, and
high-waisted trousers as well. I don't know
he used to
how,
dress
but
just like that. Work, he had all the gear and everything, and women used to love him. That's the
oh,
nearest they were gonna get to Kid Creole there.
but he was fabulous when he came on the scene. He had some great music. His music was fantastic.
I like Stu Pigeon.
Stu Pigeon, ha cha cha cha. Yeah, knew all the songs. I remember when we video recorded it. I think he was live on TV one day. Recorded the whole show. That video, I don't know, it couldn't last the test of time. I used to watch it over and over again. I knew all the dances and everything. Loved him, Kid Creole.
Did you have a VHS or Betamax?
VHS. Never went for a Betamax.
Yeah.
Who got Betamax? Can I find out if anyone had a Betamax? Who did that?
There
That's
were
like
some
having
people that
mini
had a
disc.
Betamax. Yeah, it was like mini disc and CDs in it.
Well, no, no. What I mean is, well, no, because CDs stood the test of time. You
No,
know,
I'm saying
CDs.
with the mini disc and CDs, they came at the same time. You chose one
Yes,
or the other.
correct, correct. CDs won with VHS versus Betamax. VHS won, CDs, mini discs, and then obviously we had the players, and then obviously the MP3s. Now, gone are those. I
Yeah.
was looking at one of those little iPhone. What were they called again? The little square things for music.
Oh, the iPod.
The iPods,
The
yeah, the
iPods, yeah.
mini,
I
or
still
the
got a few of
mini.
them. I think about three of them I've got still. Still in working order.
Oh, we should keep them. They should probably worth something.
Yeah, yeah. I've got them good condition. I think one of them almost brand new actually. I hardly used it and bought something else. But yeah, very good indeed.
But I'd love to know who had if anyone had Betamax. If anyone's still got their VHS video, I'm sure if some people look in their lofts or on top of their wardrobes, you know, those places where you used to store stuff, and you could find a VHS video on there or two.
Yeah,
Go
I
to-
acquired one. I've still got. I've actually got a one that's not been used. I acquired it. It was actually being thrown away, and I took it, brand new, you know, and they put it in the waste bin. They was at work, you know, when they put all the paper and all that stuff, and I was like, "You throwing this away?" I left that. So I've got one of those as well. Yeah, which I've still got some old tapes. So one day I
Did
hope
you
to go
question?
through
Did you ever use it when you
the
took it?
which are the one that I've got. No, but I took it because I've got loads of tapes. I've got loads of VHS tapes, but I've got nothing to play them on. So I thought, yep, I'll have that.
Oh my gosh, Laurie says, HPQ, I have a VHS player and tapes to watch. Does it still work? Can you get the right connections?
I'm wondering if my tapes will still work when I put them in. They might just break up, but who knows? You know, we'll see if it works or
Oh
not.
my gosh. You remember when a bit like the tape cassette when it used to
Yeah.
reel out and you used to have
Oh
to
gosh.
reel the VHS video
Yeah.
back in? Those were the good old days. First Lady says, I have a Panasonic DVD VHS player. Well done.
That's what I've got. A DVD and VHS player all in one, brand new one. It was used for mostly the DVD, which was hardly used. I mean, it was brand new. Yeah,
And
so
Laurie
yeah.
says, yes, it does work. Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I am, you must get the kids coming around and say, what is this?
What is it? It's good to show your grandchildren, you know, like bring it out
So,
and have, have a VHS day. I'm actually looking forward to actually putting it up once I get my studio built properly. I'm going to put it up and use it because I've got loads of old tapes of recording when I used to have my VHS recorder. And, I'd like to see what's on some of these tapes. And I've got boxes of them, so I can't wait to go through them.
I'll get them all uploaded to a CD or MP3,
Yeah, I'll do it
MP4
myself
format.
straight up to a DVD yet, but I do want to go through them. There's one particular video, I won't tell you what it's about. I remember I acquired
It's not a
years
sex
ago.
tape, is it?
It
Keep
is
those to
actually.
yourself.
Um, and I actually just want to have a look at it. I must be able to destroy it. I won't send it out, but I'll just have a look at it. But I have got that videotape as well, because them days
You
it
want to take a
was.
look at what? Sorry.
I said I want to have a look at this video. It was a tape back in the day. We didn't think nothing of it, but just because I know I've got it. I've actually got the tape that was sent around. Someone gave it to me, so yeah, I'll have a look at
What
it.
tape
But
was this?
it was a naughty one. It was a very,
Oh.
very naughty one, and let's say that the person right now is in prison.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh, well, I don't want to look at no naughty tapes of people.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Just
first,
just
like,
looking, but after that, I'll just destroy it.
you just
Not
got
gonna
to take
send
a
it
look, haven't
around.
you, Sharky? It
Hmm?
can't go past you. Anyway, First Lady says, and I just watched Trilogy of the Omen DVD and
Oh
watched
God, the
291
Omen.
Club recording on VHS. Wow.
Mm.
Well done at 291 Club. I'm telling
291,
you,
yeah, I've got loads of them. 291 clubs, yeah.
DJ Elaine might be interested in your collection. I'm sure
Mm.
she's got the collection herself. Anyway, G4 says, R. Kelly.
Well,
Oh,
G-Force is my mate from back in the day, so he will know.
is he saying the tape is R. Kelly?
I'm not saying nothing.
You guys and your secrets, you keep it, you keep it. Anyway, so what's been going on in the news? What's wrong with the BBC? What is wrong with the BBC? What's
No
going on with the
idea what have they
BBC?
done now.
Well, it
Oh
seems to be.
gosh, you know what? Before you go there, right? I just
Oh,
realised it's 9 o'clock.
it is. It's
We've got to
it's,
sync up with the radio station. So,
it's
guys,
true.
we'll be back after this, and then we can talk about the B. Yes. So, as you were saying just before the break,
Yeah, what was I saying now? What was I saying? What was I talking about? What was it, Sharky? Let me see if you're paying attention.
I was paying attention, but can I remember? I mean, you've got a short memory stem. I mean, what was you talking about?
No, I was talking about I was just about to talk
BB
about
Naughty C.
the Bibi Naughty C, yeah, and
Mm.
what's been going on there. Now, the BBC has been surrounded by all kinds of rumours, sackings, men that have had behaviours that otherwise should not be on TV. And the latest person to fall victim, we had, who was the last person? Jermaine Jenas was the last person that got sacked from the BBC One show.
Oh, yes.
He was tipped to take over Match of the Day. But obviously, with these inappropriate comments about women, they took him off TV. Now, the other person that has fallen foul to this now is Greg Wallace from MasterChef. And if any of you are big fans of MasterChef, Greg Wallace is no longer part of the MasterChef team. Apparently, 14 allegations have now come out against him about his sexually inappropriate antics, from talking about his sex life to talking about gosh, I don't even know. Let me have a look and see what they're saying that he had said. I know that he had talking about things that he had just done with his wife. Eureka Johnson accused him of making a rape joke. This was in 2017.
Mm.
And he has now received a backlash. He came on Instagram and kind of stated
Mm.
it's only the middle, kind of made an inference to say it's only middle class women that are making these allegations. And he received a serious backlash for that comment, whereby his behavior, he's not taking responsibility for his behavior. And he's looking at it like, all these people are making a complaint. I've now lost my job. I've been doing this show for 17 years, and in all this time, with over 4,000 contestants, no one's ever complained. Yeah, but there's been 14, and 14 of those have been inappropriate. And it doesn't matter what you think is the boundaries of inappropriateness now. We live in a completely different world where you might be taken to court if you do a wolf whistle on a woman on a street. So you've got to be careful. What you got away with before, you are not allowed to get away with anymore. And I don't understand why men do not understand this. It is not appropriate to be talking about your sexual antics, or what you might like to do, what you wouldn't do in front of a woman, especially if she's not consenting. It is as simple as that. It's a completely different world. If you
Mm.
not know someone's sex and you address them wrongly, that's going to land you in court or a fine or a sacking from your job. It's high time we start learning about what is acceptable and what isn't, and stick within those lines, and stop with this old school hat of, this is how I work and everybody else has got to work with it. It don't work that way. You'll get the full force of the law. If not, or lose your job.
I was looking in the Sky News here, and they said he stepped back. Right? Doesn't say he's been sacked. They say step back, which means I think like, well, I'm in trouble. Let me come out of
BBC
it.
are
So has
investigating.
he been sacked, or was he has he stepped back and thought, I'm not doing it anymore?
The
Because there's
BBC
a
are
difference, isn't there?
investigating. Yeah, I don't think he's got the sack yet. The BBC
Mm.
are investigating, so he's had to take a back seat.
Had no
But I'm
choice.
sure after they've done his investigations, he'll probably be let
Mm.
go. Sacked. Goodbye.
And I would imagine like a lot of these guys, when they get themselves in a certain position, they feel entitled to, do what they want. They always think that they're going to be there. But as you can see, more and more programs where people are doing things wrong now, they're just literally just pushing them out of the door.
The question is, do you think that this society is too woke and going too far and picking up on anything to use as a driver against someone? Do you think it's inappropriate at this time to be talking like what he does, to be having conversations with women? Say, for example, you're around a bunch of women at work and you're making sexual jokes, and you come in and you may do that once a week or so. Do you think it's acceptable now? We know it was. We know that people have a sense of humour. We know what we can talk about. We know we did the black joke, the white joke, the Indian jokes. We've done all of that. But is it acceptable now, do you think? Or do you think we're being a bit too woke?
Um, I
Or
actually
a mix
think
of the both?
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I think something does need to be done, because obviously you can't go around making jokes, and people are feeling offended. But I think it does go to the point where it's just gone too far to the other side now, where people are just scared to open up their mouth and, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't have, you can't disagree with that, you got to keep it to yourself, you know. I think it's gone a little bit too far now. Some people are taking advantage of that situation, of that fact. So yes, I think it's gone. But the protection does need to be there, because someone can't, you know, I think people need to be educated as opposed to get in trouble, because obviously if you've got someone and they're used to talking about, the old boys club, whatever it is, and then say something wrong and they're unaware, you educate them, you give them a warning, and if they carry on, then, you take it a little bit further. But right now, it's like, well, if you say this, this is how you've been all your life, and you've just got to change, and boom, you're out the door. So,
I think I think the BBC need to retrain every single one of their presenters. Every single one. It doesn't matter how long they've been there. They are not above this hierarchy. And I think they need to understand what can and can't be done, what's in the realms of acceptance. And I think it's just a big, as you said, they need support, they need guidance, they need retraining, and maybe the BBC should support them in that aspect, not allowing them to do what they want to do, shielding them from the complaints that are coming in, because the BBC had to know about some complaints, right? These women could not have just complaining now and not complaining then.
Something needs to be done about it. Spice Nice says but it's still okay to put down black people. Do you agree or disagree? Well, I think it's not okay to put down black people. Okay,
No.
if you're putting down somebody because they are black, yeah, it's not acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable, and people obviously have known about what they can and what they should not do for a long time. So, no, it's not.
I know, but when they make a reference against a black person, they just apologise and keep it moving. Really, they don't get the sack. It's now about women now and protecting
Yeah.
women's rights.
Well, I think, women, black people need to be protected all the time, because you
Oh,
can't
absolutely.
discriminate against someone because the fact they are black. There's no way that we can disguise it, what we are. And just like women, you can't disguise it. Some other things you can disguise, So it's neither here nor there. Women need to be protected. Black people need to be protected more than anybody
Children
else.
need to be protected.
And children
Lots of
as
people
well.
need to be
But I'm
protected.
talking about in the workplace. We don't have children in the workplace, so that's a different thing. But in terms of the workplace, women need to be protected, and black people. And of course, if you're working in a place where there's children, definitely children. Yeah.
Far too long women have been taken advantage of. So yeah, I'm all for the laws. I just don't want them to go too far.
Do you know what SOS stands for? It stands for...
Sounds of success, yes.
Oh, you've Googled it, yes.
No, I didn't Google it. I knew that.
I saw you tapping away.
Because I'm looking at my news. I just had my lovely friend Jeanette from Canada said that she's in and she's watching the show, but she says, I'm on YouTube, and I'm thinking, I'm not live on YouTube. Those are the old shows, so she's not live here yet. Bless her. Bless her. But yes, I did know that was the name for SOS Band. I think in one of my shows I did way back when, I put in the details and did a little show about them. So yes, kind of remembered that. Am I slowing down? Is my internet playing up here? I feel
No,
like
you're
I'm
fine.
lip syncing here a little
Why,
bit.
could you hear yourself?
No. It just feels like that I'm talking and it's slowing down on my screen.
That's
Anyway. Anyway, back to some news, because I'm just thinking it's 9:20. I've got to leave at 9:30 today on a Monday, as you know.
So which friend did you say in Canada was listening?
No, Jeanette from Canada. I don't know if she's online.
Send her the link.
I will do. Well, she's got the link. She's got the link, but I think she's in a YouTube slot. But anyway, very, very quickly, I kind of want to talk about Amazon Prime. I want to do a little experiment. And I don't know how many of you have got Amazon Prime, but I want to check for those that don't have Amazon Prime, because a TikToker went viral the other day saying how she's got she cancelled her Amazon Prime membership because Amazon Prime are charging her more than what a normal customer is. Now, basically, what's happened is Amazon Prime guarantees your parcels within 2 days. It's not no longer a day now; it's up to 2 days. Now, what they do is that it's free delivery, but what they do is build the shipping cost into the price. So, whilst it looks like you're getting a great deal and you're not paying any shipping, it's already built into the price. So what I want to know is that if you are not an Amazon Prime customer, we're looking at the same bits in our basket. Is it the same price or is it cheaper for the non-Amazon Prime person because they have to pay shipping costs on top? And if they pay the shipping costs as well as the price, is it cheaper than the item that we're actually putting in our basket and attempting to buy? So this is an experiment. And I need to know if anybody doesn't have Amazon Prime and are willing to take part in this little experiment, because I need to know. I need to know how much somebody else might be getting it for, or go incognito. I think that's what I'll do after this. I'll go incognito onto Amazon and check out this item and do this little experiment and see if it's any cheaper. So maybe that's what you could do, Sharky. Have a look in your basket, pick an item, any item.
Well,
Pick
I
a
can
couple.
tell you, right? I have two accounts,
Ah,
Amazon. One is a business account, and the other one is the Amazon. So I've got an Amazon Business and I've got Amazon Prime, which I use. And to be honest with you, the price ain't different. The delivery is not different. The only thing with business is that you can get it delivered on a business day at a certain time, all your parcels one time. But it's just the same. And sometimes I swap over to see what's what, but I actually never thought about the Prime. But you got to remember, when you use Prime, you get other benefits with it as well. You get cloud space, you get movies, you get various other things as well that comes with it. But yeah,
so we should for that amount of money a year.
yeah,
How much are we paying Amazon Prime a year?
about 90 something pounds a year, and it is it's about £8 a week. So
A
yeah,
week
eight
or a
pounds,
month?
£8 a month. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a little bit more expensive than
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah. But like I said, there are little benefits you get with Amazon Prime. I mean, obviously, if you phone up and complain, you're supposed to be a Prime customer. I think you can get some money back or something. I can't remember some benefits. We'll look into it anyway. Definitely
Yeah.
look into that.
One thing I've got to say though is, you know, people think Team U is bad or Sheen is bad, but the worst sellers, I've got to say, come from Facebook. The worst sellers are on Facebook. And I'm not talking about marketplace. I'm talking about, the ads that come through and you get these
Yeah.
different shops or retailers. They are all from China, right? First of all. They got all this language to make you think that they're American or whatever it is. It's either American or China, but mostly China. And half the time when you've purchased an item and you get a receipt or an email, it's not even using the proper English language. You can see the errors, spot the errors, and see which country it's coming from. But I'm sick and tired. I've bought something else on Facebook. I first bought the sign that came cracked, and I've
Oh
got a
yeah.
little action going on with the company there. Then you sent me a link for these lights. Remember the lights that you on a
Yeah.
reel? And I was like, oh, I'm excited. I love Christmas. I love lights. Let me buy this. Do they work though? They stop working. Even though I put them on charge all night, you put them on, they're gone. They're dead. They're
Have they
done.
really stopped working?
Yep, they
Let
stopped
me go and check
working.
this. Let me go and check. Let me go.
They stopped working, so I've got to find out to try and get £4.99 back. I don't even know if it's worth it, but I am, because it's £5 that was spent, and I want my money back. So I have to go back after them for £4.99. It's ridiculous. I've ordered something else off Facebook, and after that, I'm stopping, because if this comes back as a mess as well, that's it. I've had it enough. I'm just going to refuse to order from any retailer on there.
Wow.
And you don't get no protection from Facebook whatsoever. You can't even complain about the retailer, nothing. So do not shop on these Facebook retailers. They've got all these glossy ads that come in all the time, and half of them are not even in the UK. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't bother with yourself. It's more of a ball ache, I should say. It's not good.
Gosh, terrible.
It is. It is. And I'm not going to shop on there ever again. Now, I've got about 4 minutes to go before the end of the show for me. But on the last bit of news I want to give, because I'll be back tomorrow, I've got some video clips, I've got some fun stuff tomorrow. No goat's balls, people, but I've got some fun stuff. I keep talking about that. I'm still going to buy them. I
Has
was looking
anyone
for
else
them at
tried
Butchers.
goat's balls?
I'm
It
desperately
just
looking
sounds
for them.
terrible.
No, they don't. They sound nice. Anyway, just very quickly, just checking the news on one of my other channels. Now, Joe Biden issues a full and unconditional pardon to his son, Hunter. You know, Hunter was on some gun charges, and he has now made a full and unconditional pardon to his son, covering convictions on federal gun and tax charges. So this is federal gun and tax charges, and he has fully pardoned his son. This is nepotism at its best, isn't it? You know?
Yeah,
Nepo baby, for real. I mean,
it's terrible.
privilege.
I mean, I'll just say it all with Donald Trump. You know, you commit a crime in America, you can't even vote. Like, you know, a little petty theft, and this geezer has done country damage, and he's, you know, lied, and he runs for president a couple years later. I just don't get it.
Just shows you how rubbish it is. I mean,
It's rubbish.
it marks a reversal for Joe Biden, who repeatedly said he would not use his executive authority to pardon or commute, meaning shorten, his sentence. Now, Hunter Biden was scheduled to be sentenced for his conviction on federal gun charges on the 12th of December. And he was scheduled to be sentenced in his tax case, which would have been 4 days later. But in the statement, Joe Biden maintained that he would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making. And he said he kept his word, even though I've watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. That's what he's saying. So he's saying it is clear that Hunter was treated differently, adding that the charges in the case only came about after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Now, Hunter Biden was found guilty in June on 3 felony counts relating to his purchase of a handgun in 2018. He had written on his gun purchase form falsely that he was not a user of illicit drugs, and he was. And he pleaded guilty to 9 federal tax charges in September, and he opted for an open plea, where the defendant leaves his fate in the hands of the judge. Now, the tax charges carried up to 17 years behind bars. And you know, America don't mess with tax. They will send you to jail, right? They will send you to jail if you don't pay your taxes. Same like HMRC. You don't mess about with your tax. You know, don't mess about with royalty or tax. That's all I can say. But Joe Biden said his son had been prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon. So basically, he's pardoned his son. His son committed some tax fraud, bought a gun illicitly, has been on drugs. But hey, you're Joe Biden's son. Get away with anything. With that, I'm going to leave it there, Sharky, for you to take up the rest of the news. I got to run.
It makes me feel annoyed. You know what? Let me play some
Sick.
music to cheer myself up, right?
See you tomorrow.
Have a lovely day, my dear HPQ.
See ya.
Join the Breakfast Flight Show every Monday and Tuesday with SharkyDJ and HPQ with the alternative news on GY Radio.